The biggest things people have problem with is trying to work out, their niche that allows someone or something to thrive in a particular environment.
So if this is something you're struggling with at the moment, if you're a content creator, entrepreneur, solopreneur, fanpreneur, business owner, and you just need a bit of clarity, then make sure you subscribe or you'll lose the information on this video.
For example, you can have a TikTok account with loads of random crap on it, comedy, fitness, gaming, etc. Then you could have a niche account. So for example, weight loss for people over 30, yoga for addicts, travel recommendations, social media tips. Niches because they're focused on one subject, and there's other content pillars based on those subjects. So weight loss, for example, you got fitness, you got nutrition. You do clarity about what your account's about, not only for you to create content, but for other people. You become the go-to expert for your niche, and you are your brand. It opens up a world of new opportunities. It helps creating your content pillars and creating content a lot easier. Work out your niche. You need to write down all the things you love doing. I want you to write down all the things you're good at. Write down your hobbies. Write down your interests, your profession, what you do for work, talking about the most with your friends and family. What are you obsessed about? What do you always sleep about? What do you feel comfortable talking about, which just rolls off your tongue and you can talk about it for hours. Basically your niche. Now, once you've discovered what your niche is or had some ideas, then think about what your target audience struggles with the most. What are their thoughts? What are their desires? What do they like watching? What do they like doing if it's gaming? What are their struggles and pain points? If you need help with this, go to answerthepublic.com Quora, okay, for examples, because it'll tell you in the search engine, especially on Answer the Public, what people are actually typing into Google, problems, the fears, yeah? And then Quora is just a forum, so you can look about what people are writing in that niche or subject. So ask your friends, what do they struggle with if they like the same things as you? What do they get stressed about? What do they want to see if they're into gaming? You can ask people questions with your quizzes and your polls on your stories, for example, for data and information, which is very valuable and priceless. You can also go on TikTok on the search bar, a bit like Google, and just type in stuff based on your niche. Put in fitness, for example, show you the most popular videos, the most popular topics, in your niche and subject. Will help you gather an idea on what your niche should be and what sort of problems people are facing, but also it gives you a chance to maybe step away from the crowd and start talking about other areas or subjects or niches that people are not actually tapping into, and then you can excel by being different than everybody else.
Because if you can find a niche which is not very popular at the moment on YouTube especially, this gives you a massive opportunity to stand out and get your account blown up, because there is a lot of niches out there at the moment which are fairly saturated, like TikTok growth tips, for example, like mine. But you could have a really good opportunity here to have an account which is about something very different, unique, creative, passionate to you, and nobody is not really talking about much at the moment. Start that ball rolling and get your passion and creativity out there. Because if you do, your account is not only going to get attention, you are going to find your tribe. And by the time everybody else starts jumping on this niche of yours, this trend, this category, you are going to be ahead of the pack and you are going to be the go-to expert. And you're always going to get views and new subscribers just rolling in, because you are the OG, you are the original. Now the reality is, if you did have a niche, it'd be a lot easier for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and all algorithms to be able to recommend your content to the right people, and this will help your content also become more searchable and also be easier to monetize. If you don't have a niche, this may confuse your followers, but there's nothing wrong, I personally think, sharing elements of your lifestyle, like your hobbies, to build more of a connection and humanize you as a brand. But try and make it related to your niche, your industry, if you can. Now, if you want to narrow down your niche even more, like a super niche, you could have something like, say, fat loss for over 30s, travel recommendations, memes, social media growth, and so on. Because these accounts are focused on one central theme, although they may have other subjects within them. But when you're starting a new account, especially on Instagram, then I really recommend it being broad and not super niche, because if you niche it down too much, then this is really gonna limit your reach. And you really have to remember this important fact here, this tip as well. People ultimately invest and buy into you, therefore you are your niche anyway. So if you don't want to niche down, then drop onto other social media platforms where multi-niching is now trending, as consumers want to connect with their favorite creators on a more personal level. And these are platforms like TikTok. And remember, your uniqueness is so much more than a niche. So don't let this stop you from creating and putting out content. You may change your style niche many times as you go and develop as a creator, business owner, and so on. So, just get posting content and get creative, and eventually you'll find your tribe, your passion, your niche, your industry, and just don't hesitate to get that epic bit of content out there.
Ask me any questions in the comments below. Make sure you like this video if you found it valuable, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.